Unfortunately, the Toronto Blue Jays fall just short of greatness in a World Series title, and I'm really dreading talking about this all by myself. Hello and welcome back to The House That Happened, sponsored by Shoey's Bar and Grill, the only place to be in suburban Etobicoke, voted 4 times the best dive bar in all the GTA. It's number one in our hearts. It's the Phoenix rising from the ashes. Hello, I'm Andrew Milani, and I am at home recording this by myself. Cruz is taking the Blue Jays loss worse than I am, put it that way. He will be back on the show next Sunday. We will be back after a little bit of action in Cruz's chaos. We're actually going over there, so we'll be able to talk about that next week as well. But please give us a like, please comment, and please subscribe. It really helps us out with the algorithm. We'll get right to that unfortunate World Series result in a few minutes, but just a few shout-outs I have here to begin with. So first of all, shout-out to Humber Men's Soccer getting silver in the provincials. Do not defend their provincial crown, but they will get a chance to defend their national crown at the national championships. They will be going there later in the month. Women's soccer getting the bronze at provincials, and women's rugby sevens getting the silver getting the silver, excuse me. Also like to shout out Alex and Mitch hosting a Halloween party last night. Ended up turning into a World Series party, which in Mitchell's own words is one of the craziest parties he's ever hosted. Like, that many people just gathered in front of the TV watching baseball. I mean, it's insane. It's insane. Everyone rallying behind the team. Game 7. We'll talk a little bit about that later, but or in a sec, I guess. But once again, thank you, Alex and Mitch, for hosting. I was dressed up as Tinky Winky, the Teletubby. He was also in a Blue Jays uniform last night. Sad Tinky Winky, though, last night. I guess we'll just get right into it. The Toronto Blue Jays lost the World Series Game 7, 5-4 in the 11th inning. Yoshinobu Yamamoto winning the World Series MVP. His ERA was just over 1 in his 3 appearances, including 2 starts, 1 a complete game. Yeah, this one's going to sting for a bit. I thought they were going to win it. I really did. 2 chances to wrap it up at home. Couple base running errors, the the Barger, one at the bottom of the 9th, Game 6, getting the ball lodged in the wall. I mean, we can argue about should that have been called dead? Should that have been a live ball? I mean, I think they called it right. It was lodged in the wall, so by the law of the land, that's a ground rule double. It sucks. If you've ever seen the videos, Mark DeRosa on MLB Network did a great breakdown of it. How hard it is to lodge that ball in the wall is insane. So the Barger, I haven't seen the numbers on how hard he crushed it, but he must have hit that ball insanely hard for it to get lodged in there, because I've never seen that at the Dome. I don't know if I'll ever see that again at the Dome. And then famous last words by me after that play, where I'm like, oh, well, at least there's no chance of a double play, and then pop out, boom, got Barger at second, seeing Game 7 tomorrow night. Fuck. It's okay, though. Everyone's thinking, Game 7, probably not going to see Yamamoto. Well, we ended up seeing Yamamoto. To get that game started off so well, too, that Bichette 3-run home run. I thought that was it right there. You're thinking we're winning the World Series. And then little by little, the Dodgers just chip away at the lead. 1 run here, 1 run here, 1 run here, 1 run here. Including the top of the 9th. Scherzer, oh my God, I'm a mess this morning, clearly. Help me, Cruz. Help me, Cruz. You're my only hope. Jeff Hoffman, a chance to close this one out. Give us the ring. Unfortunately, Homer given up to Max Muncy, I believe it was at that point in the game. Or excuse me, that was Miguel Rojas at that point. Ties this one up. Jays have another chance to end it. Bottom of the ninth, can't do it. Yamamoto just holding firm again. This guy's amazing. I mean, top 5 pitcher in baseball, hands down. Up there with Paul Skeens, Tarek Skubal. I'm blanking on the guy in Boston. Crochet. He's in the same breath as those guys. Absolutely incredible. Obviously, hats off to him winning the MVP. We can nitpick, pitcher winning MVP because like their impact on the game, they're not out there enough. No. No one on the Dodgers was better than this guy. I think the MVP went to the right guy this year. Simple as that. Oh, just a shame. You're just like, I'm just out here just trying to grasp for like silver linings. Like, oh, I like Freddie Freeman, Teoscar. It's so painful to see Teoscar in a Dodgers uniform, man. He should be a Blue Jay still. And then instead of Santander, man. Oh, this is brutal. This is fucking brutal. Instead of a World Series championship banner hanging at Rogers Center, it's going to be an American League championship banner hanging at Rogers Center. Hoping to be there for opening day to see them raise it. But obviously, plenty of questions for the Blue Jays. Plenty of questions for the Blue Jays this offseason. We got to talk about Game 5 in Los Angeles. Trey Savage setting the record for most strikeouts in a World Series game by a rookie with 12. I believe that was also the most strikeouts in a game without walking anybody in a World Series game. So this kid's absolutely incredible. Like, the sky's the limit for him. I can't wait to see just how far this kid goes. It's going to be like, oh man, it's going to be a brutal wait though. All fucking off season. Gotta wait till April. Oh man, I didn't cry last night, but I was on the verge of tears. Man. This is, I don't know, this feels like therapy or something right now. And I don't know, my shrink that can't give me feedback or anything. This is brutal. This is fucking brutal. Savage also in that Game 5 set, most Ks without walking the batter. Clement set 2 MLB records in the postseason. Hits in the postseason and hits in the World Series. Like, I cannot believe how clutch Clement came up this series. I can't believe it. Just such a tight-knit group. He's a free agent too. Oh man, where else can we go to what cost the Jays this? Obviously, everyone's going to point to the 18-inning game, taking out the starters. The one that really stuck out with me is taking Barger out of there and putting in Straw. I love Straw, great defender. That bat ain't worth shit though. And Barger, he makes some mistakes of his own, but you take it with the offense he gives you. He's absolutely incredible. He's shown that he's cleaned up some of his defensive woes as well. I expect him to be starting in right field next season. Could have a spot at third base as well. But man, the guy's incredible. His arm, just everything. Mad Max became the oldest pitcher to start a World Series Game 7. He did his job, 1 earned run in 4 1/3 innings. Got a few punch-outs. Varland came in, cleaned up the mess. And then after that was kind of when the Dodgers started to chip away. Bassett allows his first earned run of the postseason. Savage allowed an earned run in 1 2/3 innings. And then Hoffman, obviously, they tried to give him the 4-out save. Just allowed that 1 home run to Rojas. Just 1. Dominguez came in, loaded the bases, but got out of there cleanly. And then Shane Bieber. Yep. Just one run. That's all it took. Shame, too. Just a damn shame. The whole city, the whole country rallying behind this team. And he fell just short, man. I don't know. Springer had such a great game, too. Struck out 3 times, but had 3 hits. Bichette's home run, man. Oh, I thought that was it. Damn shame. I don't know, man. That bizarre play at the bottom of the 9th with Pages and Hernandez like almost running into each other to make that catch. It's like, I don't know. I don't know. Luck just wasn't on the Jays team. I don't know what else to say. Kershaw gets one more. Oh, man. It's the first time an MLB season has begun and ended outside the States. It's pretty interesting. Begun the season in Japan, of course, and they end the season in Canada, in Toronto. Second time the MLB season has ended in Toronto, of course. I don't think I need to tell you what the last time was, but I will anyways. 1993. Joe Carter's incredible walk-off home run still stands as the biggest home run in Jays history. Springer, of course, number 2 to get us here. Man. This is rough. I mean, you ever just have like a sinking feeling in your stomach and like, I don't know. It feels like an emptiness inside. Oh, it's brutal. Brutal. I don't know. Do we start to look ahead to next season? I don't know. I don't know, man. I like Schneider, but man, sometimes he makes some questionable decisions. Yeah. Next season, what do we got? Okay, so Bassett's a free agent. I want to say run it back. Like you got to bring these guys back one more time. I mean, I think the AL East is still there for the taking. I don't think the Yankees are that good. Red Sox, ever since they bought Liverpool, like that team's just been reeling. Then maybe, I don't know, Tampa Bay and Baltimore, do they bounce back? I don't know. Tampa, I don't know. They still seem like a bit away. That could be famous last words. Then Baltimore, I don't know if they figure their shit out. One mean thing, I could say a mean thing about Baltimore, but I don't want to right now. I don't want to. Yeah, so Bassett's a free agent. I say you bring him back. My crazy idea for next year is 6-man rotation. Make it work somehow. They can keep some of these guys fresh for postseason. Why not? Why not? Scherzer, was that the last bit of Max Scherzer we saw just in general in Major League Baseball? I don't know. I would love to say bring him back, but part of me has a bad feeling that we'll be seeing him in a New York Yankees uniform next season. I don't know, just a hunch. Shane Bieber has a $16 million player option for next season. I think he's going to take it. I'm not sure, or at least they can extend a new deal with the Blue Jays. I expect him to be back in a Jays uniform next year. So already you're starting with automatically him, Gausman, Yasavich, and Barrios. So our rotation is pretty solid for next year. Of course, the big one's Bo Bichette, though. Give him the money. Tell him to play. He's got to play second base, though. Or I would accept even third base. If he's like, I want to play third, I would accept that. But Jimenez, like, for as much trouble as that bat is sometimes, like, man, having that sure hand glove at shortstop, that's irreplaceable. And he is so good at shortstop. And he will pitch him with that big hit once in a while. So I think you take it. Sir Anthony Dominguez is going to be a free agent. I don't know if he's going to come back. I think one of the hardest parts of this team, too, is just them trying to rebuild the bullpen. That's going to be, but Atkins and Shapiro have shown in the past that they can do that. So that's the least of my worries right now. That's the least of my worries. Kiner Falefa is going to be a free agent. I don't expect him to come back. Ty France, same deal. I don't expect him to come back for as great as having a bat like his, a defensive replacement like him. Ernie Clement, I did think he was going to be a free agent. He's apparently arbitration eligible, though, so I guess we can keep him around. He's in the same kind of category as Dalton Varsho and Eric Lauer. I say keep those guys around. Yeah, Schneider, Varland, Braden Fisher, Baden Francis, Tyler Heineman, all under team control. Brendan Little as well. I feel for that guy, man, for the end of that 18-inning game. He's pitching a couple innings and just one bad pitch. That's baseball, right? And for as great of a first half of the season he had, and then it all kind of fell apart for him down the stretch, you feel for the guy. I hope he gets a chance of redemption here with the Blue Jays somehow. You just want to see the human being here succeed, right? Yeah, it's brutal. It's brutal. The Jays better not get snubbed with postseason awards too. Bo, Vlad, George, all in line to potentially win a Silver Slugger. And then Vlad, Ernie, and Kirk potentially for a Gold Glove. We mentioned how they never had a Gold Glove catcher and never had a Silver Slugger shortstop. That could change this season, hopefully. Hopefully. Once again, congratulations to the Dodgers. Their 9th World Series title. That ties them for a third all-time. With 8 of these World Series titles coming as Los Angeles. The first one, of course, they were the Brooklyn Dodgers. Yeah, so Yankees still first with 27. Cardinals second with 11. Then now the Dodgers tie the Athletics and the Red Sox with 9. The Dodgers also the first team since the 98, 99, 2000 New York Yankees to repeat. So that's how tough it's been in baseball. No one doing it since 98 to 2000. A quarter of a century has passed. That's insane. And the Toronto Blue Jays lose their first World Series in history. So much for 2-0. Still remain undefeated in the ALDS, though, so we can get to the championship round. Which historically hasn't been our friend, but hey, we won it this year. The Dodgers, the big question with them is, are they a dynasty? Are they dynasty-like? Are they dynasty-light? For me, it's a little too early to name them a dynasty right now. The 2020 title comes a little bit too far away from 24 and 25. The makeup of the team feels a little bit different. Obviously, you had a lot of guys. Some share DNA, Dave Roberts, the manager, obviously. Clayton Kershaw, although he was such a small part of these last 2-year teams, right? Mookie Betts, Will Smith, I guess those are like the 2 core pieces that were on that 2020 team that are still hanging around on the Dodgers. Let's look at their roster from back then. Yeah, it was a very different look. Muncy was still there. Kike Hernandez. I don't know. It's excuse me. It's a little tough for me to call them a dynasty just yet. Maybe a dynasty-like. 2 in a row is tough. And it's incredible. But, 92-93 Blue Jays, they don't get considered a dynasty, despite some merchandise at the time saying the dynasty continues, which you may be able to see at your grandparents' house or your mom and dad's house, or maybe it's lying around somewhere in your house. I don't know. The toughest part about all this is just that we don't know if this is like a one-off. Can the Jays make it back? Because that's baseball, you know? Like, teams will have like that one season where just everything comes together, and then, you know, nothing's guaranteed after that. I mean, look at the Washington Nationals since 2019, and then things kind of fell apart for them after that. You know? Not everyone's the Dodgers or the Red Sox or the Yankees or the Astros, or the Cardinals, right? Oh, I'm sure you're sick of me doing that right now, but I'm just like, my heart goes out to these Blue Jays, man. They put it all on the line. Vladdy, I love this guy. I'm thrilled to have him for, was it 15 more years or 14 more years? Like, man, I'm ready to go for April. I want to go that season opener so bad. Just want to give everyone a hug. I think I need a hug. If someone can offer me a hug, you can come to my address. I live at 123 Fake Street. This is painful, guys. I love the Blue Jays so much, and just seeing it, like, it feels like your heart got ripped out of your chest. And now we're just a footnote in history. The footnote of the Dodgers winning back-to-back. No one's going to remember us. Except for the heartbroken Blue Jays fans, of course. It sucks. It sucks. Now the Dodgers, you know, they beat the Rays, they beat the Yankees. Like, what's next? Because they're going to beat the Red Sox, get their revenge on them for 2018. I don't know. God forbid it's Baltimore. Ugh, I said I wasn't going to make any jokes about Baltimore. I'm sorry, Baltimore. Let's kiss and make up. I don't know how much longer I can harp on this. This is just sad. I mean, the silver lining, everyone kind of got together to watch baseball. People who I know who don't even care about baseball were really into this, and I don't know. Just sad. What's worse, being addicted to drugs or sports? I don't know. Fuck. Okay. I don't know, man. Jay's got a good core. That's the silver lining here. If the Jays can, if we bring back Bo and like keep a steady pitching lineup in there, like, why can't this team win 100 games next season? Why not? I don't know. I'm going to remain optimistic about next season, but I really think the job's not done for these guys. I really think so. Although you may have to play the big bad Dodgers once again. We'll see. We'll see. But, I don't know. This is making me depressed. I don't know. Fuck's sakes. Thank you, Blue Jays. I mean, it was an incredible run. I mean, I guess in conclusion, I could say it was just about the friends we made along the way, you know? Who would have thought coming into the season that, like, Ernie Clement and, I don't know, him especially would be turning himself into, like, this huge folk hero in town, right? Chris Bassett, a guy who wasn't exactly a favorite on the House That Happens coming into the season, all of a sudden found his way into our hearts, you know? E Savage came out of nowhere to just be, I don't know, hopefully a perennial all-star. Man, he is so good. Then we got 1 year of George Springer yet left, 1 year of Gosman left. Let's not waste it. The AL East is up for grabs. We got Straw coming back another year. Jimmy Garcia, hopefully he has a good spring, can come back. Yariel Rodriguez, hopefully he can figure out a few things, can be part of this pitching staff when it matters the most. Barrios is going to be healthy again. A lot to be optimistic about for next year, but it's going to be a tough winter. It's going to be a tough winter for the Blue Jays. So close. So fucking close. It's going to take me a while to get over this. I got to work rugby or volleyball for Humber today. This is going to be an interesting broadcast. Tune in at the Hawks Sports Network for that one. But I think that's enough for baseball. And now we'll move it over to the sport that's going to really steal the headlines now, especially until the big game. That's right, we're talking about the NFL, who will certainly dominate the show until the Super Bowl, as I just alluded to. And we will begin with my version of the power rankings. So number 5, they're back. They got the defense. They got the quarterback. My New England Patriots, who are fresh on this list. Number 4, not on Cruz's list, I can guarantee you that, because he calls them fraudulent. Or is he just salty? It's the Green Bay Packers. Number 3, wow, where did this team come from? Give it up to the daughter of Irsay. It's the Indianapolis Colts. Number 2, Cruz's own squad, the Detroit Lions. And number 1, the team that never dies, the Kansas City Chiefs. All right, so it was an interesting Week 8. Myles Garrett sets the Browns record with 5 sacks in the game, but May still dominates in a New England victory over the Browns. They won 32-13 in New England, improved the Patriots record to 6-2. And I am just stoked about this team. I'll throw it out there right now. AFC Championship game for the Patriots. Patriots Chiefs in the championship game. Throwing it out there right now. Winners of their last 5 games, the Patriots. Things starting to come together. We'll see if they can hang on. I'm very confident, though. I like the squad. Derrick Henry passed Walter Payton for 5th most rushing touchdowns all time, 111. Good for Derrick. A lot of people were saying he was washed this season, but him managing to hang in there, I guess, in Baltimore's huge win, 30-16 over Chicago. Improves them to 2-5, keeps them in that division race. And my hot take there is, or maybe not so hot take, but I think Baltimore's still going to win that division, especially how it went with Pittsburgh, Green Bay. Pittsburgh blowing that game. Both teams wearing terrible uniforms. More so the Steelers, though. Those yellow uniforms were the worst. I'll say they're the fucking worst. Those were awful. I don't usually like to rant about jerseys too much. Like, maybe the fans like them. I think the Steelers fans, even though these are awful, like, were they Hornet or Bumblebee uniforms? I don't know what the fuck's going on. So the Packers ones, these white on white ones, I don't think that's so bad. But these ones that they're going to wear this weekend against Carolina, they're like with the leather cap look to the helmets. Those are brutal. Those are fucking brutal. No other way to put that. Dolphins actually got a win in Atlanta, once again proving that the Falcons are frauds. Can't even beat the Pooey Dolphins, who got their asses kicked this week with Baltimore visiting. So Baltimore now 3-5. Coming up on Pittsburgh. And they haven't played a single game against them or the Bengals yet. Yeah, Baltimore's winning this division. 3-5. Pittsburgh's 4-3. Not looking good for the steel curtain. It's looking like a mesh curtain or something right now. And who do they play this week? Then they got the Colts at home. Okay, Pittsburgh. Going to be tough. Buffalo destroyed Carolina in Carolina. Oopsie for me saying that Carolina would cover the spread. The Jets got their first victory of the season in Cincinnati. There was no Joe Flacco for that one. And the Jets now 1-7 on the season. Houston took care of business, beating the 49ers at home. Eagles got their revenge on the Giants, crushing them 38-20 at home. Tampa Bay stormed into New Orleans and crushed them 23-3. Denver in the Orange Crush uniforms steamrolled Dallas. Defense travels, but offense doesn't always. Oopsie Cowboys. Colts demolish the Titans. We mentioned how Green Bay stole one in Pittsburgh. Then, of course, Kansas City wasn't the cleanest game, but they beat down the Commanders handily, 28-7. So you look division by division now. Pittsburgh 1 game up on the Bills. And then after that, or half a game, 6-2 over 5-2. And then after that, Dolphins 2-7, Jets 1-7. Who is more pathetic? Miami is getting very interesting there. They fired their GM after that Monday night or that Thursday night performance. An interesting note that Tom Pelissero had was that he thinks Mike McDaniel could stay there another season with the new GM, as the new man in charge would, I guess, be assessing the situation. So not dead yet, at least if you ask some experts. Pittsburgh hanging on by a thread on the AFC North. They are a game and a half up on Cincinnati and Baltimore. But like I said, Baltimore just looks like men on a mission right now. Lamar wanted the ping pong tables and the video games thrown out of the dressing room, and looks like they have their eyes on the prize. Indianapolis, a stunning 7-1 to start the season. No one had that. They're well up on their division opponents, notably Jacksonville and Texas, and Houston Texans, excuse me. Texans, they were everyone's pick. Looking a little fraudulent, though. I mean, that defense is incredible. They've only surrendered 103 points so far in 7 games. That's great. But they've only scored 153, and vast majority of those were coming from 2 blowout games that really kind of propped up that offensive record. I'm not looking for much for the Texans. Don't be surprised if they miss the playoffs for the first time in a couple years. And the AFC West, this was the most interesting one. Broncos 6-2, Chargers 5-3, Chiefs 5-3. Broncos have won their last 5. Chiefs have won their last 3. It's going to be very interesting. Broncos are the team that no one is sure if they're for reals or not. I think all 3 of those teams are going to be contenders I think all of them are going to make the playoffs. How far are they going to go? I don't know. Denver, if they got to play on the road, that does kind of read one and done to me. If they don't win that division, they're screwed. Chargers, I don't know what to make of them come playoff time. I think they're going to be in a wild card, but I mean, that all depends on their opponent and who they play. NFC East, especially after the Cowboys dropped that one to the Broncos, it's going to look very tough for them to come back. 2.5 back. Dallas is now 2.5 back of the Eagles. And Dallas is just so bad on the road. 1-4. That's pathetic. If Dallas doesn't clean this up in a hurry, they're going to miss the playoffs. It's that simple. Commanders, oldest team in football. They're going to have to make a lot of changes in the offseason. At 3-5 right now, I don't see it for them, especially them losing their last 3. Giants, forget about it. I guess if I didn't mention any teams before, you could just assume the Browns, Titans, and Raiders I do not give any respect to right now. And for good reason, they stink. NFC North, Cruz might tell you this is the best division in football still, and I might have to agree. Packers, 5-1-1. Lions, 5-2. Bears, 4-3, hanging in there. Vikings, 3-4. The big question there is, do you start J.J. McCarthy? I think you still got to think development with him. You don't want to mortgage your future. For as good as the season was last year, I don't know. Just don't blow it with him. You do not want to have a Baker Mayfield situation where he's having his best football with another team, I guess you could put Jared Goff in that category too. I mean, I know Goff took the Rams to the Super Bowl, but what he's doing with the Lions, this is unquestionably the best football he's ever played. I guess you could throw Mac Jones in that category too, with what he's doing with the 49ers, but we'll get into that in a second. But yeah, Packers, Lions should both make the playoffs. Bears are going to be a very interesting team. They're going to have to scratch and claw their way to do it, but still very possible. NFC South, this is The standings here really surprised me. So obviously Tampa Bay number 1, not surprising there. I had them number 1, 6-2. Number 2, Carolina 4-4. Huh? 3-1 at home, 1-3 on the road. I guess that home record, they can keep that up. They'll be fine this season. I don't know if they'll be a playoff team. They'll have to really go off, but I don't know, Carolina, not quite the dumpster fire they've been last couple years. And, good for them. Good for the Panthers fans. Atlanta 3-4. Frauds. Saints 1-7. Worst team in the NFC? Probably. Then you look at the NFC West, another team that's contender for the best division in the league. Seattle Seahawks 5-2. Rams 5-2. 49ers 5-3. And Seahawks. So the most shocking stat about them, 2-2 at home. And they're known for, having like the loudest stadium or one of the loudest stadiums and having that home field advantage. But 3-0 on the road. Real road warriors. Same with the Rams, 3-1 on the road. Looking very good away from home. And at the very bottom of the division, they started off 2-0, but now they've lost their last 5. The Arizona Cardinals. Everything just falling apart for this team. Everything just falling apart. I know injuries have played a part there, but they're a tough team to root for sometimes. And, I guess Rams, 49ers, Lions holding down those wild card spots right now. Going to be very interesting. So, obviously, in AFC, it's got to be the Chiefs. Colts, Patriots, Bills, Ravens, if they make it. Broncos, Chargers, all contenders, but come on, the Chiefs are the real big boys. NFC, though, Eagles, can they keep their shit together? I don't know. Packers, are they for real? Lions, can they finally break through? Are the Seahawks for real? Rams, what's their deal? 49ers, what's their deal? NFC looks wide open. Hutchinson on Detroit signed a $180 million deal with $141 million guaranteed over 4 years. That's a big one for Detroit. Good for them. And I guess now we'll just get to our weekly picks. So last week, Cruz one-upped me. Literally one-upped me. He beat me 8-7 in our picks. And this week, we actually picked all the same teams but one. All right, so San Francisco at the New York Giants. San Fran favored by 2.5. Me and Cruz both on San Fran. LA Chargers at the Tennessee Titans. Chargers favored by 9.5 on the road. That's not stopping me and Cruz. We are both on LA, formerly San Diego. Minnesota at Detroit. Detroit favored by 9.5 at home. Lines all day for both of us. Atlanta at New England. This will never stop being funny. Patriots favored by 5.5 at home. We're both on the Pats. Indianapolis at Pittsburgh. Indianapolis favored by 3.5 at the field formerly known as Heinz Field. Both of us on the Colts. Denver at Houston. Houston's favored by 1.5 at home. Give us the Texans. This is the only game we disagreed on here. Chicago at Cincinnati. Chicago is favored by 2.5 on the road. I'm on the Bears. Cruz is on the Bengals. So that's going to decide it right there for us. Carolina at Green Bay. Green Bay favored by 13.5 at home. Give us both the Packers. New Orleans at the LA Rams. Rams favored by a huge 14.5 at home. We're both on LA. Jacksonville at Las Vegas. Jacksonville favored by 2.5 on the road. We're both on the Jaguars. Kansas City at Buffalo. This could be the game of the week. And it is a Sunday afternoon one. Kansas City favored by 1.5 on the road. We're both on the Chiefs. The Sunday nighter, Seattle at Washington. Seattle's favored by 2.5 on the road. Give us both the Seahawks. And the Monday nighter, Arizona at Dallas. Dallas favored by 3.5 at home. We are both on the Cowboys. Right. That'll wrap it up for football, and we'll take it to one of our favorites here at the house that happens, the NHL, with, of course, our Toronto Maple Leafs report. Huge congratulations to John Tavares becoming the 49th player in NHL history to reach 50 goals. So big achievement there for the future Hall of Famer. And he is only, I believe, the 5th or so player now to score 500 goals without having a 90-goal season among players now like Maurice Richard and Pat Verbeek. He's in that kind of company. Absolutely incredible stuff by Johnny Toronto. Leafs getting the win last night in Philadelphia. Thank God. Came at a cost, though, as Michkov got an elbow in on Tanev. He was stretchered off the ice, unfortunately. Leafs now one game over 500, though. My concern about the Leafs this year is that everything just kind of just started off on the wrong foot. Obviously, we know Marner, it's a huge hole to fill. That was number one, but then Wall leaves training camp early, big blow. Lawton injured at the end of training camp. That's another pretty big blow. Tanev missed a couple games back there, and then now it looks like he's going to miss some time. And then, I don't know, how long is it before this just keeps snowballing, and then this is your season? And you're having to scrap and claw your way for every bit, every scrap. I don't know. It's crazy. I mean, you looked at the standings. Coming into Saturday, Toronto was actually dead last in the East. Only 2 points of a playoff spot. But still to see that, you're like, whoa. And then you're checking, Puckpedia to see what their trade protection is on that first-round pick they gave to Boston last year for Carlo. It's top 5 protected, in case you're wondering. I don't think it's going to have to come to that, but a concerned fan is always going to check. This is just still such a strange season for the NHL, though. You look at the standings, it's topsy-turvy, man. Pittsburgh, off to the start that they're having, is incredible. Montreal's been red hot to start the season, really building off of their development from last year. Great home and away as well. Detroit, great at home. On the road, they seem to not do their best, though. And some of their goaltending isn't really holding up. Ottawa finds themselves third in the Atlantic right now. Another team that's good at home, really bad on the road. New Jersey, perfect at home to start the season, but again, another mediocre road team. I guess kind of becoming a trend here. Columbus, not great at home, but good on the road. Carolina, for as great of a start they had, certainly looking a little bit mediocre in the last few games. Again, good at home, not great on the road. New York Rangers, terrible at home, but excellent on the road. Explain that one to me. I can't figure it out. Tampa Bay, it looked like things were going up. I mean, they've won their last 4, but they're still second last in the East. So I don't know what's going on. It's a weird season. Colorado, 19 points in 13 games, but 5 of them were overtime losses. It's got to be a little bit concerning. They have not had a regulation loss at home. I guess that's a good thing. Winnipeg, another team that's just a bunch of road warriors, 4-0 on the road right now. Utah, 4-0 at home. The real surprise, I guess, of this season has been that squad. Them in Pittsburgh in each conference. Anaheim, who I picked to make the playoffs this year, off to a good start. 13 points in 10 games. Have games in hand on basically everyone above them. Edmonton looks like they're finally figuring it out. They had that rough start, but now they find themselves second in that Pacific Division. Minnesota is like the one team here where it's like, what the fuck's going on, guys? 2-3-2 at home, 2-3-1 on the road. 11 points in 13 games to start the season. That's pathetic. I don't know. That was a team I had pretty high expectations for. I believe I had them finishing third in the Central this year. Nowhere near as competitive as I thought they would be. Nowhere near. Yeah, I'm going to keep this pretty short for hockey. I mean, the NHL doesn't really begin till after the Super Bowl anyways. Ha ha ha. Habs, though, obviously, you do a little bit of a Habs report here for Cruz. He'll want me to. Obviously, got to be happy if you're a Habs fan. Number 1 in the Atlantic. Suzuki has been unreal. Only a couple goals, but 16 assists in 12 games. Caulfield's been on fire, 10 goals in 12 games. Hudson's been doing his job. Demidov's looks pretty good. Is he a shoo-in for the Rookie of the Year? I don't think so. But you got to be at least pretty impressed with his performance so far. Actually leads all rookies in points, but Matthew Schaefer on the Islanders. Whew. And Zeev Buium on Minnesota as well. But of course, Minnesota and the Islanders not as good teams, so that could hurt their chances. And then, of course, Dobbs. He's your guy in Montreal. 6-0 in the season. Goals against average under 2. Save percentage .930. He's yet to record a shutout yet this season. Meanwhile, Montembeault 3-3. His goals against is over 3.6. Save percentage .839. Yuck. Yuck. That's awful. And Montreal plays with speed. Unfortunate about Patrick Laine, obviously, but not over yet. Montreal looking pretty good to start the season. Gotta, show hats off to them. We're gonna do a little bit of a Hockey Canada watch. I think we'll save that for next week. Some guys that were in that Four Nations face-off roster, their spot definitely on the ropes. Brandon Hagel, number 1. I mean, he has been just so bad to start the season for Tampa Bay. I'm pulling up his stats now. I mean, he had that horrible start, but he's improved a little bit. He's going to have a really good next few games to kind of show his worth and keep his spot on the roster. I believe he now has 7 points in his last 5 games, so improving. He's got 3 goals in that stretch as well. I don't know. We'll talk about that more next week, like I said. So NHL is canceling the All-Star game this year. The Islanders will instead get it next season. That whole thing about them having a lead-in event to the Olympics, that just made no sense. With an already condensed schedule, how much more do you want to add in? It didn't make any sense. Sidney Crosby became the 9th player to 1,700 points. Absolutely incredible for the automatic first ballot Hall of Famer. Maybe already on Hockey Mount Rushmore. We can debate that another time. Thomas Harley signed an 8-year, $10.59 extension with the Dallas Stars, one of the best young budding defensemen in the NHL. Logan Cooley, the future star, maybe already a star, signed an 8-year extension worth $10 million with the Utah Mammoth. Martin Necas will stay with Colorado. He signs an 8-year extension worth $11.5 million a season. So there were some questions about maybe Papa interfering there and whether he'd go to free agency. Well, Colorado won't have a repeat of the Rantanen situation from last year. Fortunate for them. He will be an Avalanche for a very long time, as it looks. And the last signing here, Markstrom signed a 2-year extension worth $6 million to stay in New Jersey. $6 million per season to stay with the Devils. We'll get a look at our Saturday night pick'em. So last week, we both had brutal weeks. Cruz beat me 5-4 out of 13 games. And last night, out of 13 games, Cruz beat me 8-7. Cruz now on a 3-game winning streak here, or 3-week streak, whatever you want to call it. Beat me by 1 every time. He's now up in the series 3-1, but we are both tied on the tiebreaker. So if I can win a couple here, that will certainly bode well for me. And now we will move this to soccer. First of all, a big shout out to Vancouver Whitecaps FC getting to the conference semifinals. They beat FC Dallas in a 2-legged match. They won the first leg 3-0, and then they drew the second one 1-1, so they win 4-2 in aggregate. They're waiting for the winner of LAFC versus Austin FC. They've yet to win a championship, so let's see if they can bring one home for Canada. Good for them. But more importantly, the big stuff happens in Europe, and I have my top 5 power rankings for this week. So at number 5, they are second in their league. I had them ranked 4th last week. I almost had them falling out. I got FC Barcelona. Number 4, I had them ranked number 5 last week. They are first in their league, and they're undefeated in Champions League. I got Arsenal. Number 3, I had them ranked number 1 last week, but a bad loss to a bottom feeder team in their league was a big whoopsie. Still number 1 in their league, still undefeated in Champions League, though. The defending Champions League champions, Paris Saint-Germain. Number 2, I had them ranked number 3 last week. They're first in their league, undefeated in Champions League, and they are perfect in their domestic league as well. They actually set a record for 14 wins in a row to start the season in a 4-1 victory over Köln in their DFB Pokal second-round match. It's Bayern Munich. And number 1, I had them ranked number 2 last week. They are first in their league, perfect in Champions League. It's Real Madrid. So looking around Europe, Juventus hired Spalletti, the former Italy manager, to manage their squad after it's been a very up and down season for Juventus. Things have not looked good for them really since that incredible dynastic run that they had of the 2010s. Since then, they've been kind of reeling. Bellingham scored the winner for Real Madrid at home against Barcelona last Sunday in a 2-1 victory in El Clásico. Napoli topped Inter 3-1 in Naples last Saturday. Bayern Munich defeated Bayer Leverkusen 3-0. That was yesterday. Chelsea pulled out a 1-0 victory at Tottenham with João Pedro's 34-minute marker. And then this week, we got Milan versus Roma in Milan on Sunday. And of course, it's the Champions League week. The champions. Liverpool, Real Madrid on Tuesday. We also have PSG, Bayern Munich. That one could be the game of the week. We'll definitely keep an eye on that. And then lastly, on Wednesday, Manchester City versus Borussia Dortmund. So we'll be very excited to talk about this and just share some of this with Cruz next week. Next Sunday, we will be recording. Very much looking forward to that. And without further ado, we will take this to a little bit NBA talk. And most importantly, the Emirates Cup, the event that everyone looks forward to. Toronto won their opener against Cleveland this week in Cleveland. So big news for the Raptors. But they are 2-4 to start the season. They have had some brutal losses. Ingram has been playing well, though. That's been the silver lining. Grady Dick has had a little bit of a rough start to the season. He's been shifted into a bench role to start this year. Hopefully he can improve. Looking at the NBA standings, obviously Thunder still at the top. Spurs 5-0 and the Bulls 5-0 to start the season. That is absolutely insane. New Orleans 0-5 to start the season. Oof. And they were one of my picks in that preseason thing I did. That's enough NBA talk, though. That's enough. CFL. We had the CFL playoffs begin this weekend. Yesterday, the division semifinals. Montreal defeated Winnipeg at home in the East Semi. Winnipeg gained that spot from the crossover. Montreal wins that 42-33. Then a game that I kind of had one eye on last night. BC versus Calgary. It's back and forth. BC gets the go-ahead. Calgary ties it up with a field goal. And then BC walks it off 33-30 with another field goal. BC now on a 7-game win streak going back to the regular season. Sets up a match for them at Saskatchewan next Saturday in the Western Final. Then the Eastern Final will be Montreal at Hamilton. So for that one, do not be surprised if Montreal wins. Montreal's got the defense, and defense travels. We saw them come into Toronto a couple years ago and get the upset there. And BC versus Saskatchewan, I think BC's going to keep it up 8 in a row. In my eyes, that sets up a Montreal-BC Grey Cup. Do not be surprised if BC, who's really found this role, and Nathan Rourke has been so incredible for that team. Do not be surprised if BC finds themselves holding the Grey Cup by the time all is said and done. All right. Just one more segment here. I'm going to have a little bit of Formula One talk. We'll review the Mexican Grand Prix. This is actually it was funny. So we had Marco on. Once again, thank you again to Marco Giovanetti. Great talk we had about Formula One. We're both kind of trash talking the Mexican circuit, saying there's never any good racing. Wow. Were we ever wrong? That was the greatest Mexican Grand Prix I've ever seen in my life. Lando Norris coming up with the win there. Leclerc finishing second. Max finishing third. Ollie Behrman fourth, tying Haas's greatest ever performance for a driver. Oscar Piastri, fifth place. Andrea Kimi Antonelli, 6. George Russell, 7. Hamilton, 8. Ocon, 9. Bortoleto earning 1 point as a 10th spot for Kick Sauber. And that was such a crazy race. Cars going off the track. Penalties flying everywhere. Of course, Verstappen, turn 1, basically goes flying off. Broke a little bit too hard. He knew he had to pass Norris at turn 1. Otherwise, he wasn't going to win that race. Going all or nothing. Of course, Hamilton getting the big penalty for the way he rejoined the track. Happened a little bit later in the race. Conspiracy heads are going to be thinking about that one, I'm sure. This one really, and of course, after this, Lando now putting himself ahead of Oscar by 1 point for the driver's title. That's the big news right here. With 4 races left to go, we got Brazil next weekend, November 22nd. We go into Vegas. November 30th is Qatar. And then Abu Dhabi, final race December 7th. So next week we get a race, then a week off. And then it's boom, 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 back to back to back. 3 races to finish things off. A little bit bittersweet with all the summer sports wrapping up. Of course, baseball. Not to harp on that one too much. CFL wrapping up as well. Yeah, we're going into full winter sports mode. The changing of the tide, if you will. Just an absolutely incredible race, though. That was so much fun to watch. Still not the biggest fan of that circuit, but I mean, you gotta shout it out to Formula One whenever they get something right, you know? And of course, you look at constructors. Ferrari moves into second place, 1 point ahead of Mercedes. And then they're now 10 points ahead of Red Bull for second place. Williams a firm lead over the rest of the teams for 5th. Then 6, 7, 8, 9. Still a big scrap there. Racing Bulls was 72. Aston Martin was 69. Nice. Haas was 62. And Kick Sauber was 60. So those teams not too far apart. Even for Kick Sauber to pass Racing Bulls, only 12 points back. That's a few good results. You know, one good result even. If things really go their way. And then last place, Alpine Renault, 20 points. Their second driver there, it was Duhan at first. Colapinto now has yet to score a single point. Colapinto's best finish was 11th in the Netherlands. Gasly has managed to nab 20 points himself, but half the time, just everything seems to go wrong for this guy. You just feel terrible about it. Feel terrible for the guy. But once again, I want to shout out Behrman. That huge performance he had there. 12 points. That's huge for Haas. Tying their best performance. And then Leclerc, of course, getting the podium for Ferrari. Second place. I don't know if they're going to win one. 4 races left to go. Not a lot of runway here left. But I got to be pretty pleased with that. But the McLaren battle, I'll talk a little bit more about that with Cruz next week. But, oh boy, this is getting ugly. Piastri, his 4th race in a row without a podium now. Ever since that retirement in Azerbaijan, I don't know, something's just not gone right. And before that, the previous races of the season leading into Azerbaijan, he only missed 2 podiums. Of course, there was Australia, kind of disaster. 4th place in Canada, so he only missed there by 1 spot. But then, a 4th in Singapore, a 5th in the States, 5th in Mexico. This is all starting to add up. But this next race here, I think this is going to be where Max comes back here, has a big performance. He does it really well in Brazil, loves that track. He's only back of Lando for first place by 26 points. So this one not over by a long shot. 4 races left to go. I cannot wait. This is going to be a lot of fun here. Last but not least, we got a sports trivia question. Thank you, Steven. It's Blue Jays themed. Before OK Blue Jays, the team had a song arranged by Toronto dentist Paul Zaza called The Blue Jays. What genre was the song? Oh boy. I saw this video come up on my recommended feed. I did not click it, and now I'm regretting it. I don't know. I want to say like a barbershop quartet or something. I don't know. Or like swing. I don't know. Let's say barbershop quartet. Disco. Oh, I should have seen that coming. Oh, the 70s. So it's the time of the week where I say, what am I looking forward to the most? And without baseball, I feel kind of lost. But you know what? Toronto Maple Leafs have a big week coming up. Host Pittsburgh tomorrow, and we host Boston on Saturday. Big games. I know the Toronto-Boston one. I'm going to say that one because that's a game me and my friends, some of my friends, we're going to be watching at Cruz's. So let's go with that. Once again, I want to thank all of you guys for listening through these tough times. It's going to be a tough winter for us Blue Jays fans, but I don't know. I don't know what else to say. Hopefully better things next year. I don't know. It's tough. It's tough, man. I'm just thankful for the good season. You know, you gotta find a way to put a silver lining around this darn cloud. Just sucks. Sucks. I hope they can run it back. Please sign back Bo. That's all I'm going to say. Akin Shapiro. You earned a lot of respect in this city. I think we can keep it up. The East is going to be here for the taking next year. Let's not keep this a one and done. Let's keep this roll going. For myself, Andrew Milani, and the rest of us here at The House That Happens, thank you, and keep the vibe alive. Do you have a question? We'll answer it on the air. Send it to thehousethathappens@gmail.com. You can find us on Podbean, Spotify, YouTube, Amazon Music, iHeart Radio, Player FM, Podchaser, Boomplay, and SoundCloud. You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at The House That Happens, and on X at House Happens.